Inside the most expensive party ever thrown. Let's be honest, when most of us throw a party, it usually means a couple of pizzas, a Bluetooth speaker, and maybe that one friend who insists on being the DJ. But when billionaires and celebrities decide to celebrate, oh no, they don't just throw parties, they launch productions, complete with private jets, Michelin star chefs, red carpets, and fireworks shows that rival the Olympics. These aren't gatherings, they're spectacles. Events where champagne flows like tap water. Performers earn more in one night than you'll make in 10 years, and the budget could fund a small nation. Today, we're diving inside the most extravagant, jaw-dropping, and yes, most expensive parties ever thrown. Buckle up, because this isn't just about birthday cake and balloons. It's about billionaires flexing their wealth in ways that make the rest of us wonder if we've been living on the wrong planet. The Vanity Fair Oscars Party, Hollywood's crown jewel. Let's start with Hollywood. Every year, after the Academy Awards, while the rest of us argue on Twitter about who got snubbed, the world's elite slip into tuxedos and gowns for the Vanity Fair Oscars Party. This is the after party. It's where the A-list becomes the A++ list. Elton John mingling with Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran chatting with Samuel L. Jackson, and in 2014, even Elon Musk showed up, reminding everyone that while he may not take vacations, he definitely makes time to rub shoulders with Hollywood royalty. But here's the kicker. Just getting inside this party costs more than most people's annual salary. Back in 2014, a journalist was offered $30,000 for his ticket. By 2020, a pair of tickets was valued at around $105,000. That's right, you could buy a Tesla, or you could stand around in a suit hoping to catch Leonardo DiCaprio at the shrimp cocktail table. For Hollywood insiders, this is the place where deals are whispered, selfies go viral, and luxury fashion houses show off their gowns. For everyone else, it's the reminder that exclusivity itself comes with a price tag. Jeff Bezos, the billionaire host. Now, if Elon Musk prefers attending, Jeff Bezos prefers hosting. And when the world's richest man decides to throw a party, you can bet it's not happening at a Holiday Inn ballroom. In 2018, Bezos threw an after party for the Golden Globes at the Beverly Hilton. He was photographed with Chris Hemsworth, Taika Waititi, and Matt Damon, basically assembling the Avengers, but with better suits. But his most famous event? The Alfalfa Club dinner in 2020 at his $23 million mansion in Washington, D.C. Guests included Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and George W. Bush. The scene? Politicians and billionaires sipping cocktails, while outside, their guests' cars racked up over $17,000 in parking tickets. Only in Bezos land can valet parking cost more than a new Honda Civic. And remember, this was after he spent years renovating the mansion just to make sure the ballroom was grand enough for the kind of networking that decides the future of Wall Street and Washington.
Dubai's $20 million hotel opening. Of course, if there's one place that takes go big or go home seriously, it's Dubai. In 2008, the city launched the opening of Atlantis, the Palm, and they weren't about to settle for ribbon cutting and hors d'oeuvres. This event cost an eye-watering $20 million. Guests included Robert De Niro, Charlize Theron, and Michael Jordan. Kylie Minogue performed for 60 minutes and walked away with a $3.7 million paycheck. And the food? Try 4,000 lobsters served up by Michelin-starred chefs supported by 500 sous chefs and 1,000 waiters. For fireworks, they hired the same company that had just produced the Beijing Olympics display and even outspent them, because in Dubai, the Olympics are just the rehearsal. The opening of Atlantis wasn't just a party, it was a message. Dubai had arrived on the global luxury stage, and they lit up the sky to make sure no one missed it. The Sultan of Brunei, $47 million birthday. If billionaires throw lavish parties, royalty takes it to another level. Back in 1996, the Sultan of Brunei celebrated his 50th birthday with what remains one of the most expensive private celebrations in history. So, what do you do when you're worth $28 billion? You hire Michael Jackson. Reports suggest the King of Pop pocketed around $70 million for a private concert. Add $10 million for food and drinks, plus a guest list of international royals, including Prince Charles, and you're looking at a total bill of $27 million. Adjusted for inflation, nearly $47 million today. For context, that's more than the cost of filming Titanic. And while Leonardo DiCaprio was pretending to drown on screen, Michael Jackson was moonwalking in Brunei for free for the citizens, courtesy of their sultan. Jay-Z and Beyonce's Blue Ivy's first birthday. Now, not every extravagant party has to be about world leaders. Sometimes it's about a baby who literally can't remember it. In 2013, Jay-Z and Beyonce celebrated Blue Ivy's first birthday with a princess-themed bash. The roses alone cost $95,000. The cake? $2,400. Toys and jewelry for Blue Ivy's friends? Another $30,000. But the pièce de résistance was an $80,000 custom Barbie doll encrusted with 160 diamonds. That's right, a toy more expensive than most wedding rings. For a 1-year-old, who, let's be honest, probably just wanted to chew on the box. Simon Cowell's 50th birthday extravaganza. Simon Cowell, the man who made a career out of crushing dreams on TV, decided to celebrate his 50th birthday by making his dream come true, being the center of the universe. The $1.6 million party was held at Rotham Park in England, where waiters wore masks of Cowell's face, his initials were stamped on the food, and even the wallpaper had his image. Talk about narcissism as decor. Performances included Leona Lewis, Westlife, El Divo, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Guests like Gordon Ramsay and Kate Moss mingled while sipping $800 bottles of Cristal champagne. The final touch, a Frank Sinatra sculpture inside the eye of a needle, worth $130,000. Because when you're Simon Cowell, even your gifts are tiny, pretentious works of art.
Naomi Campbell, 3 days in Dubai. Supermodel Naomi Campbell doesn't just celebrate, she takes over. For her 36th birthday in 2006, she rented out the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai. Themes included all-white, hip-hop, and Brazilian samba. Guests included David and Victoria Beckham, Dolce & Gabbana, and fellow supermodels. Suites at the hotel cost $123,000 per week, and over the 3-day bash, the total cost ballooned to around $2.4 million today. That's not just a party, it's a mini fashion week disguised as a birthday. The Kardashians, turning parties into productions. And then, of course, there are the Kardashians. The family that built an empire on attention knows how to spend it. In 2014, Kim and Kanye threw Kidchella for North's birthday. A child's party turned into a full-on music festival, reportedly costing $2 million. There were Ferris wheels, carnival rides, and live performances. In 2015, Kris Jenner's 60th birthday was a Great Gatsby-themed blowout, also costing around $2 million, complete with vintage cars, crystal gowns, and chandeliers. By 2018, Kanye and Kim's Christmas party turned their $60 million estate into a winter wonderland. Snow was imported for $350,000, and John Legend was paid $500,000 to sing, and the total cost reached $1.3 million. Forget Secret Santa, this was Santa with a $1 billion budget. Sir Philip Green, the $39 million getaway. Let's talk about Sir Philip Green, the retail tycoon whose birthday parties make rock concerts look modest. For his 55th birthday in 2007, he invited 100 guests. The catch? They had no idea where they were going. They were told to bring swimsuits and meet at an airport. The destination? The Maldives. For 5 days, guests enjoyed private concerts from George Michael and Jennifer Lopez. The total price tag? $39 million. That's not a party, it's a temporary utopia. Beyonce in Dubai, the modern benchmark. And speaking of Dubai, let's end with the recent party that set the internet on fire. In 2023, Beyonce performed at the grand opening of Atlantis the Royal, the luxury hotel that makes even Atlantis the Palm look humble. She was reportedly paid $24 million for a private, invite-only concert. Guests included Kendall Jenner and Liam Payne, who watched Queen Bee perform against a backdrop of fountains and fireworks that lit up the Arabian night sky. And here's the catch: no tickets were sold. This wasn't for the public. It was for the ultra-rich, the global elite, and a handful of influencers who could brag about it on Instagram. If the Sultan of Brunei set the gold standard in the 90s, Beyoncé's Dubai concert may be the modern crown jewel of luxury parties. The bigger picture. Looking at all these events, one thing is clear. These aren't just celebrations, they're declarations. Declarations of wealth, power, and influence. For the rich and famous, parties aren't about cake and dancing, they're about reminding the world just how big their bank accounts are. They're cultural flexes wrapped in fireworks and designer gowns. And while most of us are happy with the Spotify playlist and some pizza, these billionaires are hiring Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and John Legend for private gigs. So here's the big question. If you had the choice, would you spend $39 million on a 5-day bash in the Maldives? Or just stick with your friends, some pizza, and a good playlist? Because let's be honest, both sound great, but only one won't require selling your kidneys. Which of these insane parties would you love to attend? Drop your pick in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends, because the rich may throw the parties, but we get to enjoy the stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next Luxury Deep Dive.